Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Environmental Justice Now. My name is Leah Jones, and I am the organizing coordinator and water justice organizer here at Virginia Interfaith Power and Light. Before we get started, today, as usual, I like to do a very brief land acknowledgement. While we are on a video call right now, and many of us are joining in from all different places, we want to remind ourselves that we do gather on the unceded land of the indigenous peoples. I'm joining in from so-called Richmond, Virginia, and I am on the land of the Powhatan and Chickahominy peoples. So if you are unsure of whose land you are on, you would like to learn and find out, you can always visit native-land.ca to check it out. All right. Thank you all for tuning in another week. We've made it through another week to Friday, which means another episode of Environmental Justice Now. Did you all know that Virginia actually has an election every year? Just this past, at the start of the month, May 5th, that marked the first day of in person voting at local registrar offices. Though this election is not a presidential election this year, the 2023 VA election this year does allow residents to vote for state senate, state house, different school boards, as well as local municipal positions. So there's quite a lot on the ballot this year, actually. And the current primary race is taking place to nominate candidates for the upcoming general election in November. So if you are unsure of where your local registrar's office is located, what it is, you can always check it out and find out by visiting this link here we have on the screen, where it'll list. You are able to choose your locality through a list, and it'll point you to the direction of your registrar's office. Now, I know the conversation of voting, especially when it comes to many of our new voters, is that we might think that our vote may not carry a lot of weight. However, voting in local elections, especially, can impact us in some of the most imperative ways that are crucial to our daily living, including healthcare, our school quality, whether or not we're able to access affordable housing, improving our public transportation, things like protecting our green spaces and our environment, and so much more. So this year is very crucial, actually. Voting allows us to express our care for our communities and use our own civic power that we all hold to impact the future of ourselves and other Virginia residents alike. So many, in addition to this, our civic duty, many faith traditions also teach a sort of moral responsibility to value the health of our neighbors and environment. And that definitely speaks to voting, right? Because when we vote, we are able to voice what we believe we want for our communities and what we want to see for the health of our neighbors and our environment. So, with this in mind, it really is critical to prioritize justice and cast a ballot in every election, not just this one, even though there's a ton on the ballot, but every election, especially here in Virginia, to ultimately protect the quality of life for ourselves, the quality of life for our neighbors, and the quality of our environment. So these are all very critical things, right? And the deadline to register to vote, in case you do not know, or update an existing registration to vote in this primary election happening right now, is actually very quickly approaching. The deadline to register to vote and update your existing registration if you have moved, changed locations, would like to be sent your ballot in another location. That deadline is May 30th, 2023. So that is next Tuesday, I believe, either Monday or Tuesday, I believe. I know we're coming up on a holiday as well this weekend. So be on the lookout and try to make it to the polls this sometime before the 30th if you haven't, or update rather that registration if you have not before May 30th. So be sure, once again, to check out your registration status. You can check it out using the Virginia Citizen Portal. The link is It should be up on the screen. There we go, for you to check it out and see if you're registered to vote or in the correct, or if your information is correct for this year's 2023 election. So, in addition to that important day of registration deadline, updating your registration deadline. There are a few other important dates, of course, to keep in mind as we make our way through this primary election. Some of those dates include Friday, June 9th. So June 9th is actually a deadline to apply for a ballot to be mailed to you. And I know that can be especially helpful for a lot of students who may be away at college but would still like to cast their vote in their hometown where they're from, especially in a place like Virginia. Here, we need all of the votes that we can get, right, to impact our communities as best we can and put people in positions of power that will actually allow us to advance justice, environmental justice, and all the other great things that I mentioned, like improving our healthcare, improving our public transportation, improving our school quality. So be on the lookout for that date. That was June 9th. That's the deadline to apply for the ballot to be mailed to you. Now, another important deadline that's upcoming after June 9th is actually Saturday, June 17th. This is the last day of in person voting, well, in person early voting at your local registrar. So, this is your last opportunity to vote in person early before the official election day. So if you would like to vote in person, please be sure to mark June 17th on your calendar as the last date that you're able to actually go physically to the voter registration office and cast your vote. Now, with that being said, Election Day is June 20th. That's a Tuesday, June 20th. This is the final chance you have to cast your vote with your values in mind. And that being said, early voting has already opened as of May 5th. So we have plenty of opportunities, whether that be in person or through a mail-in ballot, to cast your vote even way before election day itself. But once again, Tuesday, June 20th is the last opportunity to do so and cast your vote with your values and what you want for your communities in mind. And I know, once again, that local elections, especially because it's not a presidential election, can sometimes go past our radar, go over our heads. But this election actually is quite crucial, especially with so many positions up for election in Virginia's recent redistricting. So, like I mentioned, the Virginia State Senate, the Virginia House, these are all so many positions that are up, especially within these new districts that have been lined up since last year. It's all still a bit new for Virginia, right? So this is quite a critical time and actually one of the most important election seasons to make it to the polls. So if you have not yet registered or cast your ballot, please be sure to use those links that we've put so far in the stream and do so before the respective deadlines that we mentioned, so that you can make sure you're able to cast your vote. Now, lastly, I wanted to share a few resources for everyone to rely on in this voter season. So ultimately, to emphasize the need to support pressing climate issues in this 2023 Virginia election, and to help keep track of all the different dates and key voting details this season. Here at VIPO, we have created a voter toolkit again this year. We were able to release one last year. In case you missed it, we are releasing this one again for specific to the election this year in 2023. And within this toolkit, it encompasses all of the pertinent information and links you need to help keep up with the election all in one place. So trying to keep it easy for folks, especially our faith communities, who may be in need of keeping track of those dates. And please feel free to share this resource. We want you to share this resource with your communities and networks at large. So in addition to our voter toolkit, we will also be sharing a voter calendar in the coming weeks. that also encompasses all of the key information that I've already mentioned on this call, in addition to many others, just like our toolkit, information about this primary election, but also our general election, in addition to various meditations, reflections, and fun facts, all related to the 2023 election season, hopefully getting you pumped up and excited to head to the polls, encouraging others to head to the polls, creating your voter plans, all of that important stuff as we approach our important deadlines and dates to cast our ballot this election season. So, once again, if you would like to check out all of this information that I mentioned, including our voter toolkit and in the coming weeks, our voter calendar, you can always visit and we actually encourage you to visit and learn more about what we're up to and the resources that we have to offer for this election season by visiting our civics page. You can find all of the information and links to download the voter toolkit and the voter calendar when it's available on using this link here. So please be sure to check that out if you're able to, and be on the lookout. We are once again within the primary election season of the 2023 election. And following that, we'll be quickly approaching, it comes so much faster than we expected to, approaching our general election. So keep your ear to the streets and please follow along with us. And we hope to see you out there at the polls casting your votes, and encouraging your communities to also cast their vote, especially our young voters. So that's all the information I have today. Mostly today, I wanted to share about the primary election because it is ongoing, and the dates, especially to register, to change your existing registration, are quickly approaching. So, once again, make sure all of your information is up to date and you're ready to go for the voting season this year. And in addition, outside of voting this year in the 2023 election, if you would like to keep up to date with all the other things VIPL is up to, all of our events, upcoming issues that we've been following, supporting, and anything else that we've been up to, you can always join our supporters list at this link here, where you can easily access what we're up to and what we're looking forward to in the coming weeks, months, and how you can get involved. So please be sure to check that out. And that's all I have for everyone today. Thanks for tuning in, if you were able to, and hope to see you around. See you next week, same time, same place. Bye.